this is 12 wins into a Classic Challenge, you guys. 12 wins into a Classic Challenge. And look at that start. Look at that start. We just won. What the heck is this deck? What's up, gamers? It's Durkee here, and today we're going to be using the deck that the #1 player in the world uses, and you guessed it, it's Giant Beatdown. How did we know? How did we know it was going to be Giant Beatdown? There's actually a new variant that is very popular in the meta right now. So the original Giant Beatdown that was really popular that was going around was Giant Beatdown with an Elixir Pump. And this one is a little different. It's Giant Beatdown, but instead of an Elixir Pump, it features a Lightning, Arrows, and Bowler as well, kind of like as a counter meta play. So Sasuke, #1 player in the world running this deck right now. I'll show it on the screen. I'll show his rank. I'll show the deck, all that good stuff. I'm going to go in here because we're up a teeny bit of Elixir. I'll have my Lightning hovered. If he gives me anything else, I mean, I'll still Lightning this switch just to get it off the board. Bomber goes to town, and you can see that's probably already going to be tower down. Yeah, that's really all it takes. We are in the first win of a Classic Challenge, so the opponents are going to get better as the game goes on, but this deck is unreal right now. It's so good against the Daggered Duchess. There's a reason that the #1 player in the world is playing it. So we just steamrolled this guy. It only took us a minute. We're going to take the dub, and we'll see you in the next match. Okay, into our next match with this deck. The other match went by so fast. I didn't really get to explain why I do love this deck. The Evo Knight, in combination with everything, is amazing. So I'm gonna Giant here to distract the mortar. So Evo Knight in front of a Giant Phoenix Little Prince push is unreal. Like, it's actually so difficult to stop. Perfect timing where the mortar doesn't get a chop. Like, imagine trying to stop Evo Knight, Evo Berry, Giant. Like, it's just so hard, especially with the presence of the Dagger Duchess, and that's kind of why this deck has sort of found its way into the meta. He decides to pressure. I don't know if I super agree with that. I mean, I don't think that's going to get him that much damage, and it's going to give us a nice little Elixir advantage. So this deck is pretty brainless to play at a low level, and it always forces out positive Elixir trades. Like, it's just so hard to defend some of the cards in this deck. I'm going to cycle my Knight just to try and get to that Evo Knight, to try and get to that push where it's Evo Knight tanking for a Giant that's tanking for Phoenix and Little Prince. It's absolutely crazy. So you can see here, we're already up Elixir. My opponent opts to pump up, so I'm going to go in here. He was down Elixir when he went in for the pump, so I would be kind of flabbergasted if he's able to defend this push. Like, I mean, we have arrows here for the minion horde, Phoenix for the bats, and we just steamrolled his entire tower right there. Absolutely. That's 2 games in a row of, like, just dominating our opponents right off the bat. So that's going to be a good game, honestly. I could Lightning the pump as well. I guess I'll do it late just because. We're going to go ahead and take the dub, and we'll catch you in the next match. All right, into our next match here. I would like to get a game that lasts more than like a minute or a minute and a half, but that's just kind of what happens with this deck. It's incredible at punishing people who overextend. And that is the thing, like, as broken as I do think the Dagger Duchess is, the good news about it is she's very exploitable at the same time. So while she is really strong, you can actually punish her pretty easily. Okay, I'm just going to Lightning here because he does play the Expo. I like this dude's tower, the free tower that they were giving away. That's kind of funny. So a lot of times when you see Expo in this meta, a lot of times they're running Rocket or they're running Pump along with it. So we have a lot of answers to Expo if that is the case. We have the Bowler, we have the Giant, and then of course we have the Lightning too. So we'll see what he's running. I'm just going to chill. He cycles a Log. We're going to cycle a Phoenix. The reason I cycled the Knight is I'm just trying to get to my evolved one as quickly as possible without, you know, throwing away the game. Okay, he cycles a Valkyrie. I don't know 100% what it is yet. I'm still thinking Expo. I don't know why. It just kind of feels like it's an Expo deck, but it very well could be mistaken. Okay, he cycles... Oh, wait, sorry. I know it's Expo. I meant like Pump Bow, but yeah, I knew it was Expo. Okay, so yeah, Rocket comes down. I don't want to say no surprise, but kind of no surprise. I kind of had a feeling that he was running that. Since he did that, I'm actually going to go for a Giant. His Tesla's out of hand. I think he'll have to go for a defensive Expo, more than likely. Yeah, he does. Okay, so we're going to go in like this. And then hopefully he gives us something else here. Okay, he doesn't. We're going to do boom, boom. Probably should have lightninged it sooner. Kind of regret not lightning it sooner. But as you can see here, yeah, he's like already like out of daggers on both sides. So he had to play that Tesla like kind of delayed. And the Phoenix is going to go in. So really good push. In hindsight, I wish I would have lightninged a little sooner, but that's okay. We have our bowler in cycle if he goes for an expo. Little Prince on this side so that way he doesn't get rocket value. We're actually going to we're going to go like this actually here. Okay, good defense by him, honestly. Evo Berry does get one splash, and when the Knight is walking, it actually tanks for the expo extremely well. I'm going to go like this because I expect him to play like skeletons or something. Yeah, okay, he panic rockets onto all of that, but that Giant is still going to go in onto that tower. And on that side, we're also going to have a Phoenix respawn if he doesn't do anything, so we're going to pressure on this lane as well. And you can see why this deck is it's just a problem. Like, it's a problem deck, to be completely honest, even if you're not playing it to perfection. So, really good sequence of events for us. I'm just going to go for a bowler here to soak up this expo and defend the Valkyrie. Okay. I'm going to go Giant here as well. We need to DPS this down. I was going to say, this is like his big push. He has the Evo Expo, or he has the Tesla, he has the Expo, but even with all of that, we just break through like it's nothing. So, the old saying goes, when you're playing against Expo, all matches go for all 5 minutes, so we're going to see that's probably going to be the case here. We're going to avoid giving him rocket value. And if worse comes to worse, we can just start lightninging the Expos. Bowler here to take this out. I don't really agree with the way he positioned that Tesla. Now he has to go for a defensive Expo. He doesn't want to go for a defensive Expo. He has to. We're going to take the lightning onto the tower. I'm going to Knight as well, because then he'll have to play something, otherwise the Phoenix egg is going to respawn. Arrows onto everything just to chip everything down. Still needs to play something on that Phoenix egg, because Evo Knight is tanking for everything. Did he forget about that? Did he forget about the Phoenix egg? Yes, he did. And that's going to be a good game. Pretty easy win against Expo. We're just going to take the Lightning. If you don't like Expo, give this deck a try. You won't have a problem. So, GG's. Our first game over, 1 minute. We'll take the dub. We'll catch you in the next one. All right, into our next match against Anderson, but he spelled it wrong. So, yeah, if you like beatdown style decks, I personally don't love beatdown style decks, but this deck's just amazing right now. In terms of starting plays, dropping a Berry in the back is a really good starting play. You can also cycle Little Prince, but I only recommend doing that if you have your Phoenix in hand, because if they go for a balloon and you don't have your Phoenix or your Little Prince, you're going to have a bad time. Berry's going to do a decent job here. I'm just going to let it go. And you can see I cycle my Little Prince, because if he does go for a balloon, I could have gone Phoenix on it. This is a really good start for us. He kind of just cycles a pig into our bowler, so we're going to have a nice little counter push. Not sure if anything will come from it necessarily. I'll take this Lightning. Whatever. It's a -2 trade, and we get Tower Chip, plus he has to spend even more. So yeah, that Lightning forced out a ton of Elixir from him, and 2 Elixir, Bar Barrel, and 4 Zappies. He says, wow. Yeah, I kind of agree. Okay, I'm going to go for a Giant in the back here. We need to be careful about the Evo recruits. We're going to probably... I expect him to go for Evo recruits on defense, so maybe we can get a lot of value with our Evo Berry, or at least that would be the idea. No guarantee, though. Phoenix here. I think I played that a little preemptively. Forced out the bats, though. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to get too much from all of this, to be completely honest. So I think I'm going to let it go, get my bowler down here to help out on this defense. And then once that locks, we're going to go for the Little Prince. Okay, I had a feeling he was going to do that. Evo Berry going to do a lot of work here. And he still has to defend the right side, so if he chooses to go in for a spell, it'll be a little bit of an overcommitment. Beautiful. So we have a lot of answers to him. I think things are going to get a little better in double Elixir for us in regards to an offense. Okay, we're going to go for a Giant here. No Evo Berry in cycle, unfortunately, but we will survive. Okay, he splits his recruits. That makes a lot of sense, honestly. Okay, we're going to Berry to support this. Force out a spell, probably. Okay, I had to get rid of that flying machine. Evo Knight's going to tank for this. Arrows onto all of this just to get it off the board. Evo Bats can be frustrating for us to deal with. Okay, I'm going to go in here because Evo Knight is going to do a great job tanking for the Giant. And then we can go for a Berry here to help clean all of this up. Knight to protect the Berry. He has to spend even more, and there we go. That's a huge giant connection onto the tower. And Barry's going to clock in. He has to play a flying machine. And that's a pretty successful push for us. We're going to get one more Barry splash. We just took almost his entire tower, essentially. If he goes in here, we have a bowler for all of this. And we have a Barry, just in case. Just to let him know that we're not threatened. He takes the poison. So we're going to go in. Little Prince as well. And honestly, this deck, you just kind of like can spam a lot of the time, and there's not a lot they can do. We're going to get a second Phoenix down here. He still needs to defend that Giant. Okay, pop the ability here. And that Giant is going to go to work. Little Prince is still alive. The Phoenixes are absolute carnage. Man is fighting for his life here. Truthfully. And we're going to do this. And this, and that's probably going to be a good game here. So yeah, he gives up. Pretty hard matchup, but what isn't a hard matchup for this deck? So GG's against Anderson, spelled wrong. We'll take the dub and catch you in the next one. All right, into our next match here against Byron. Okay, I have my Barry in my starting hand. I have arrows. If you're crazy, you can cycle arrows, like if you're anxious to get going. So Goblin Drill is really popular in the meta. The best thing you have in your deck for it is the bowler. You can also go for a Barry, but that sometimes gives them poison value. So if you are able to defend with the bowler, it's a -1 trade for you, but they usually have to spend something on defense as well. So yeah, he had to go for the Barry there. So we find ourselves up 1 elixir, so we just cycle a Barry of our own in the back. And I'm also going to cycle a Knight, just trying to get to my Evil Barry, try to get to my Evil Knight. And Goblin Drill is very, very, very popular in this meta. So expect to see a lot of it. I'm going to cycle arrows here. Goblin Drill, like 99% of the time, also runs poison. So kind of anticipate that. I just wanted to force out something here. Nice. He's going to go in. And again, bowler, really, really good answer. The reason I was okay going for that lightning is because I had a feeling he was going to have to spend something on it. And he did. And then that was all just going to go into the bowler on counter push. So that was the only reason that I went for that lightning, because I'm like, oh, he'll just go for a drill, and then the bowler will counter everything. So you can see we take no damage there. Bowler is really nice as well, because it's one of the best answers in the game to the Little Prince. Okay, he might go in here. We're going to get the LP down early and get ready to pop the ability.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah. Good ability pop by us. I had a feeling he was going to go for some cheeky arrows. So far, so good. Again, in general, against Goblin Drill, you don't want to go same lane, because then, like, they'll get poisons when you're playing cards, so you might switch lanes. I'm tempted to go in because he's low on daggers, but I think we're just going to play it conservative. We're going to reset with the Giant in the back. Double and triple elixir is your time to be kind of aggressive, I feel. We're going to do this so that way the Knight actually takes damage, and then we're going to Barry. He could go for arrows. We're going to keep that in mind. Yeah, he takes the poison instead. Okay, so this might be our time here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Evil Knight in front, because when Evil Knight's walking, it soaks up lots of damage. And then this is a perfect lightning. Bing, bang, boom, Little Prince down. Everything's down, out of daggers. He's going to have to go for a Hail Mary defense, and my boy's in trouble here. This is your time to unload on him. So spend the arrows, and this is going to be tower down. One push is all it takes. Evil Knight in front, a little bit of an elixir advantage, and there's nothing that the drill players can do. So I was hoping to get like a push like that some point in this game, and we got exactly that. So GG's to Byron, the Goblin Drill player. But it was really not that hard of a match. Kind of goes to show you why it's the #1 deck in the game right now. Arrows here. And the dude, pretty much all he did was sneeze on our tower once or twice. So we're going to take the dub. Catch you in the next one. Into our next match here against Angel. And I know I said I don't enjoy playing beatdown decks, and I mean that, but I'm having a lot of fun with this deck. It's good, dude. Something just so satisfying about making one giant push and taking their tower. It's kind of a pun, too. Okay, he does that. Okay. Barry gonna do work on that side. Little Prince isn't gonna do half bad either. My man just spent like a lot of elixir at the bridge. I'm tempted to go in here. Like, try and get some retributions, you know what I mean? Because he just spent a lot of elixir. We have Evo Barry here. Oh, you can't be serious. Yeah, well, I wasn't ready for that. So he has an Inferno Tower. that's kind of unfortunate, but we do have the lightning, so he was able to get a pretty fatty positive elixir trade. We're going to keep that in mind. Use our Evo Knight to our, I guess, credit to try and break through the Inferno Tower, because Inferno Tower is not great. Okay, we need to watch out for a big, like, Evo Recruits push here. I'm not 100% sure what this deck is. Could be a homemade deck. It could be some meta deck that I don't know about. Okay, he takes the Rocket. That's interesting. Okay. Bowler's still going to go to town here. Oh, he gets the ability off. Dang. Okay, I'm going to go in before he gets back to his Inferno. Please. Catch. Oh, he has double building. Oh. Oh. Okay, I don't think he has enough for Inferno Tower right away. Yeah, not right away. And then Inferno Tower is going down, and he's out of elixir. Bomber here. Give me that. I just want to keep him low on elixir because that Phoenix Egg is going to probably respawn. Yep. And that Phoenix is going to respawn. He's out of elixir. I don't know what this dude's deck is with the Evo Recruits and 2 towers, but that was a good example of pressing the issue, right, when they have a bad cycle. He didn't have an Inferno Tower in hand, although he apparently had a Bomb Tower, but it didn't even matter. So arrows onto the archers here. And, I mean, it's just going to be GG's. It's a wrap. Lightning this LP. Daggered Duchess is doing absolutely nothing, dude. She's doing absolutely nothing. I kind of feel bad for her. Alright, well. That's a GG's, boys. We're going to go ahead and arrows. And another day, another three crown against Angel. So we'll go ahead and catch you in the next one. Alright, into our next match against Nunca Pierdo. Never something. Is that walk? Never walk? Am I dumb? Alright, so he goes with an RG at the back. That's pretty interesting, I'm not even going to lie. He's also instantly BMing. So either he knows something that I don't, or I don't know. I don't know what to think when I see that some of the time. Okay, well, we kind of need to cycle here. I'm tempted to lightning the Hunter, like if he plays a Fisherman to try and activate King Tower. Sometimes they'll do that with the Bowler. They'll, like, pull it over, try and activate King Tower. We're just going to let it go. Okay, so he's running like a pretty hefty deck. He has the Giant Skeleton. He's got the Hunter. He's got all the shenanigans. So we're going to go like this because our Dagger Duchess is out of daggers. So Kite never a bad option, honestly. Kind of, especially early on, trying to figure out what he has in his deck is really helpful. Does have the Fisherman. I figured most Royal Giant decks do run the Fisherman. He didn't even activate King Tower, though, which is really good for us. We still get a connection. That's absolutely bonkers to me. Knight in front of my berry just to protect it and cycle to an Evo one. Bowler here is going to splash onto the berry as well as the RG. Unfortunately, it doesn't push back the Evo RG, but that's okay. We're going to accept the damage that we take here and hope that we can dish out more damage into the future. Okay, so we have a small elixir advantage here. He also pops the abilities, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in because I know he's pretty low on elixir after popping that ability and hope that we can get something done on offense. Yeah, I think he knows it because he instantly goes for the BM. Plays a Hunter in the back, but that's probably going to be tower down. So that was an example of me kind of not panicking, right? Like I took a lot of damage initially, but I didn't panic, and I knew that we were going to be able to, get damage back. And this deck does a really good job of punishing when you are up in elixir. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. Berry, just to get a connection onto the tower and take care of that Fisherman. Bowler into the pocket as well. It's going to tank for everything. I'm doing this because he's low on elixir. Nice. Forced out the arrows. That's the main reason I'm doing all of this. I know it might look kind of aggressive, but look at that chip that we got on the tower. It was actually crazy. I'm going to continue to press the issue. Glad I did that, actually. Might be able to get a nice lightning off. We'll see. Okay. DD's going to do a good job here. And even if he takes this tower, like, we're going to be able to take his tower pretty easily, so I'm not too worried about it. We really just have to distract, honestly. We're going to just lightning here just to kind of, like, send a message. And we hit the Hunter, too. So my bro was BMing at the start of the game, but we kind of showed him we had nothing to worry about. So GG's against this Royal Giant player. We'll take the W. Catch you in the next match. And into our next match against this guy. I actually looked up what Nunca Pierdo means, and apparently it means never lose. Which is kind of ironic that they lost the last match, so... I think it's like a song, though, or like probably like a pop culture thing. Anyways, we're going to drop our Little Prince. I wish I had my Bowler in my hand, because Bowler is a really good answer to the Little Prince, or the LP. Looks like this guy is running probably the same deck, honestly. It's probably a mirror matchup. Oh... Well, not a true mirror matchup, it would seem. Okay, we're going to play our knight here, so that way the Giant Skeleton crosses the bridge. Giant Skeleton's kind of made a resurgence in the meta. It's actually, like, pretty decent against, the Daggered Duchess. I did that because I thought that he spent, like, a reasonable amount, and I thought I could maybe pull off a punish, but maybe that was too aggressive. Oh, no, we're getting a lot of damage. Beautiful. I wish I had enough for a lightning, though, but that's okay. Bowler gets taken care of. We can try and get King Tower activated if he pops that ability, but if he doesn't pop that ability... Nice. So that ended up... I'm actually really happy that I went in there, because we find ourselves up a little bit of elixir as well. The reason I went in right away is because the Giant Skeleton is 6 elixir. And I was like, okay, that's kind of a lot. It'll be hard for him to defend in single elixir after going in for the Giant Skeleton. We had to overcommit there on defense, though. We had to spend like 8 elixir. Nice. He zaps. Interesting. Okay, so here's the thing. I mentioned how punishing this deck can be. He's really low on elixir. Oh, great Phoenix. And you don't need to always punish with Giant. You can punish with the other cards in your deck. Oh, maybe we get a little berry shot here as well. This deck is so good at punishing the Daggered Duchess when it's low on elixir. He tried to get the King Tower activation there. That's why he put the Little Prince down, but didn't even matter. I'm going to Bowler like this in case he pops the ability, but you can see, oh, he does. I think that was a really, really bad ability. It was actually, I would argue, horrible, because he basically spent 3 elixir to get nothing. This is the push we want. Oh, no! Oh, no! The knight was supposed to go in front of everything. It's okay. I might just take this lightning. It kind of slows everything down. Bowler is connecting onto everything, dude. Bowler is such a good card. Okay, we're going to go like this. I think he might have a lightning, too. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just going to be really careful. Berry down low. And this deck just gets such strong counter push. Okay, he has an Earthquake. Rip. Rip him, not rip me. Yeah, I don't really see him defending this if he doesn't have a building. Arrows, lightning. Giant just sitting there unfazed. And that's a good game. Against another beatdown deck, but it was pretty easy. Man barely touched our tower, so that just goes to show this is the beatdown deck. GG's against this guy. We'll take the dub and catch you in the next one. Okay, into our next match here against Burak. Apparently he has a YouTube channel, so he's probably pretty decent at the game. That's just the way that it goes. If you got a YouTube channel, you're probably pretty decent at Clash. So we're going to go ahead and drop our Evo Berry in the back here. Or our Berry in the back, just trying to get to our Evo. I broke my own rule. I cycled to a Little Prince without having my Phoenix in hand, but I think I already know what deck he's running. I stand corrected. I thought it was something else. I'm going to go Knight here, just to, again, cycle and just, like, protect everything from that Firecracker. It's interesting to see Firecracker in the same deck as a Bomber, to be completely honest. Bowler there to activate King Tower. I think it's worth it no matter what he's running. Because Firecracker and Berry kind of serve the same purpose, I feel like. I just want him to have to spend more on this, or if he doesn't spend, we're going to get 2 more shots. Maybe an overcommit, but that's only a -1 trade, so that's kind of why I did that. Okay, maybe a bad Berry by me, in hindsight. That's okay. I was trying to get the Berry onto the King Tower, but it was probably greedy. I'm going in because he just spent 8 elixir at the bridge, so I'm like, he has to defend this somehow. We'll take 1 Knight shot, as well as some Little Prince chip. Okay, so he's running a super unorthodox Golem deck. Props to him for running something different. That's really cool. He is low on elixir, so I'm tempted to go in here. That's kind of like the theme, right? When the Dagger Duchess is charging up, you need to go in. I don't think he has like a mini P.E.K.K.A. I was going to say Phoenix for the E-Drag. Perfect. He's going to have to Tornado or something when he gets enough. Because this Phoenix is going to tear Tear into him. Yep, beautiful Phoenix. That delivery was really smart. Otherwise, the Phoenix would have finished off the E-Drag. And the Giant would have got even more damage. So we have a really good answer here for the Golem. We just do. I'm going to lightning onto all of this. It's only a -1 trade, and we get the tower. We get it onto the tower that we wanted to get it onto. And for him, it's crunch time. Like, he's got to go in. Like, I can just, you know, be able to take his tower really soon. And you can feel the desperation in that Golem. Like, you really can. I'm not even just saying that. Like, you can feel it. Like, there's no chance he wanted to go for that Golem. He had to go for that Golem because of the push that was happening. We're just going to lightning onto the Firecracker. And there's 0 chance that this man breaks through. I can go for the lightning late game because if he goes for an elixir pump, he won't get anything from it. So, although Golem is pretty meta as well, we just have the better deck, to be frank. And at this point, I just need to make sure that they don't get like a magical connection on my tower with the Evo Berry or the Firecracker. So we're going to pull everything back, give him the GG to our fellow YouTuber, but our deck's just better. Take the dub, catch you in the next one. Alright, into our next match against this guy. Kind of looks like they got the Russian, I think, flag, but you never really know. People have whatever in their banner. Like, almost 100% of the time you can cycle your berry if you have it in your starting hand. I think it's a fine play. Okay. Giant Skeleton. Menacing. Very menacing card. So we're just going to cycle our LP into it. And I have to... No, I don't have to spend here, but I'm going to pop the ability. If he pops his, we can go for the bowler. Okay. I'm going to go for the bowler anyway because I think he's going to go in here because I'm low on, like, daggers per se. Yeah, he does. That was kind of smart. Forced out a lot of elixir from me, to be completely honest. But now it's our turn. Barry comes down. We're going to get some good arrows off. And he messed up. I think he lost. I think he literally just lost. That Phoenix play just cost him the entire game. All it took was one push. All it took was one push. We're going to take this man's entire tower. Easy. Wow. That I'm just like baffled at this deck. We're 10-0 right now in a classic challenge. We're about to be 11-0, and it's just... This deck is so good. I'm tempted to lightning this, but I'm worried he has like an elixir pump. So I think it's the better play to not. Oh, I will do this though. 100%. Boom. Boom. And we're looking golden. If I pop the ability, he has to spend to protect his tower. Bowler is going to do good. That's why I think my version of the deck is a little better. Like, he has the old school version, it looks like. The bowler is just so good at countering, like, giant pushes. It just slows everything down. It's amazing. And now at this point, we are in lightning range. Okay. So we can just lightning cycle him. If he plays anything in the back, we're just going to lightning it. Yep, we're just going to lightning it. He might as well, right? He doesn't have Little Prince to support his push. We took his tower. Hey, you know he's going to go in here. He has to go in. He doesn't have Evo Berry in hand, though, so we can do this. Evo Knight high. Evo Berry of our own in the back, just to splash onto everything. Solid defense, man. Solid defense wins games. And we're going to go Giant in the pocket just to round this thing out. So, GG's to this guy. 11-0 in this classic challenge. #1 deck in the entire world. We got one more game to go. We'll see you there. Alright, 11-0 in a classic challenge with the best deck in Clash Royale right now. Let's see what we can do. Maybe we'll get a loss. We'll see. But this deck is absolutely killer. We have the Barry in our starting hand. And you know, when I see Barry, I'm just like, they're running Giant Beatdown. Oh, he goes Giant first play. That's interesting. Okay. Maybe he knows what he's doing. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. Whenever you play this deck, it's like one mistake will literally cost you the whole game. I need a bowler here to like protect my Phoenix, I think. I think that's the move. Alright. Okay, this is the 12 wins into a Classic Challenge, you guys. 12 wins into a Classic Challenge. And look at that start. Look at that start. Look at that start. We just won. What the heck is this deck? Oh my glob. Yeah, that's why I don't recommend going for a push like that right out of the gate. Because you don't know what your opponent's running and if they're going to be able to like punish you really, really well. Like we were. I'm going to bowler like over to the side here. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of damage here. It goes both ways. Like neither of us can defend really great, to be honest. That probably wasn't the best defense I could have done, but yeah, he takes half of our tower. I'm tempted to go in here. I think my best bet is pressuring like the pocket in the other lane. He has a little variant. He has bats, which are completely different. Okay. I was going to say, the thing is, I don't want to give him too big of a counter push. Like, if I push hard into one lane, like, to compensate for the damage that he's getting, then he's going to have a nasty counter push. So I do want to play somewhat passive. Or at least I think that is the goal. I will lightning this, though, because the witch is really, really problematic for me to deal with. Okay, he goes like this. Okay. Honestly, not really that good of a push by him. I don't know why he did that. Now we're going to giant in the pocket. Because he has to defend this, right? We're going to arrows to keep my knight alive. Beautiful. Beautiful plays. I think we keep our tower, and we're going to take his tower. So he actually is running a slightly different deck than us. It is Giant Graveyard. And now at this point, he has 2 towers that he needs to take, which is a lot to ask. We're going to get another bowler down here. A Phoenix down as well. And when they only have 1 tower left, I truly think the best offense, or the best defense, is offense in this situation here. We're going to arrows on these bats. That Giant's not going to take our tower, so good game to this guy. I mean, he's running Giant Graveyard. He's also running a no-skill deck, but it was a pretty easy win for the most part. So there you go. 12-0 in a Classic Challenge with the best deck in Clash Royale. We'll catch you in the outro. And there you have it, 12-0 in the Classic Challenge. Thank you so much for watching. Here's the deck one more time in case you want to take a screenshot. And there's a reason that this deck is #1 in the game right now. So I had fun playing it. Give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I'm excited for some of the nerfs that are coming next season to this deck. So appreciate the support. We'll catch you in the next video.